Whenever we are overly fixated on the opinions of other people, what they're saying of us, what they're thinking of us, we're not fully secure within ourselves. Whenever we know who we are and we are confident in that, we are less likely to be triggered by the opinions of other people. So I want to talk about how we can stop caring what other people are saying, what other people are thinking about us, and put the focus back on ourselves and the things that we need to be doing and stop giving them so much of our energy. And I know that we all do this because it is something that is very common, especially when it comes to your family and your friends. It's so much easier not to care what a stranger on the internet is saying about you versus a family member or a friend. But regardless of who they are, we need to understand that everyone's opinions is based on their own perspective, which is based on their own life experiences. So regardless of, being your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, even if you grew up with this person, everyone views life in a different way. Even if you do share parents, every child has a different experience within the household, regardless of being in the same environment. So everyone is really viewing the world through their own personal lens. So just because someone thinks something of you, or they say something to you, whatever they're feeling, whatever they're thinking is very much valid based on their own perspective. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right. It just means that it is valid for them. That's how they see the world. So if someone is saying, okay, you're this, you're that, you're ugly, that is their perception of it. And okay, fine, that's valid, but that does not mean that that is your truth. Other people's opinions are other people's opinions. They do not belong to you. It only becomes your truth whenever you decide to accept that as your own. Whenever we can understand that other people's opinions say more about them than it actually says anything about us is whenever we can stop taking things so personally. Because it really is more about them than it is about you. Just as whenever you are feeling triggered, just as whenever you are feeling something within yourself, it is coming from inside of you. That is signaling something inside of you that you need to acknowledge. So your own personal triggers, emotions, feelings, opinions say more about you than they say anything about anyone else. And as you start to understand that within yourself, you can start to understand that within other people. And listen, I know that it is hard to completely not care what other people think because to a certain extent, we see ourselves in other people. Meaning, if I am treating you a certain way, then that's kind of how I expect to be treated. But we also need to understand that that is how we navigate life. Not everyone is going to be how you are. Even the people that we love the most. So if you are someone that is constantly being encouraging, who is there for your friends, who is there for your family members, but you notice that you are not getting that in return, I think it's important to make a mental note of that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut everyone out of your life. But I do think that you should be putting your energy in places and people and things where it's going to be reciprocated, where it's going to be returned some way or somehow. Because if it's not, then it's just not going to be something that is sustainable. There has to be this equal give and take to continue the flow of a healthy relationship. And whenever there is not this continuous flow of equal give and take, then the relationship is not going to be something that is sustainable. It is going to be just one-sided, which is going to bring you stress, which is going to bring you anxiety, which is going to bring you sadness, and it's going to make you resentful. So even if it is a family member or a friend, I think that you need to start noticing who is there for you and who is not, and really placing people in your life according to how they're showing up. And that is going to be based on their actions. There's been plenty of times where I've shared my videos with my family members or friends, or even posting content, and there's people that are close to me that don't even like it. My family members don't even watch my videos, don't even like my videos. So you know what? I stopped sending my videos to my family members. I stopped talking about my goals. I just stopped really engaging in certain conversations that are not going to be received well. And that allows me to kind of remove my energy from those kinds of things. And then I will still show up when I need to show up for those people whenever it is necessary. But whenever it comes to certain things, I know who I can and can't share with, and I don't have a problem removing my energy from certain relationships if I feel that it is something that is no longer serving me. And I think that you doing those kinds of things is an act of love and an act of respect towards yourself. Because if you value yourself, you're going to value your energy and your time. And you're not going to continuously give your time and energy to people and places where it's not being received well. And I know a lot of the times we feel like, okay, well, maybe they don't like the content that I'm putting out. Maybe they don't like my products. Maybe they're not interested in what I have to say. Maybe they don't like my music, my art, whatever the case is, whatever you're doing in life, we feel like they're not supporting us because they don't like it. And a lot of the times that might be true. But as long as you like it, as long as you're doing what you love, that should be the most important thing. It doesn't matter if they don't like it. You don't need that support from people that are not going to like the things that you are doing. And removing your energy from these people is only going to create more space to align you to those that are actually wanting to engage with you, those that are actually wanting to support you. But also pay attention to how you are showing up as well and become more aware of that. If you're not giving out what you want to receive, then how is that going to come to you? You also need to be someone who's supportive. You also need to be someone who's encouraging. You need to treat others as you would treat yourself, because everyone is going to mirror that back to you. If you navigate life in this way, everyone is going to show up accordingly. And if they don't, then that just means they're not in alignment with who you are. And it is okay to really just keep those people in a certain area of our life, not engage as much as we used to. And I've used the analogy of an onion before, how an onion has so many layers, and we are multi-layered human beings. We have so many levels to ourselves that we can place people on different levels of our life. We don't have to share everything with everyone. You will know intuitively inside of your body who you need to be sharing certain things with. And as you continue to work on yourself and as you continue to do the things that you love and you start to gain momentum and you start to see some success, a lot of the times people are gonna now start noticing you. Now they're gonna start wanting to be supportive, and they're gonna be like, hey, I've been here all along. I've been your friend. I've been your family member. I've been supporting you. And this happens sometimes. And it's really up to you on how you want to engage with that. So even when no one supports you, and even whenever you are forced to really do things by yourself, do things on your own, you're going to realize that you are your #1 supporter. You're going to understand all of the hard work, all of the sacrifice that goes into achieving the things that you want to achieve and really move forward in life, in the life that you're trying to create. So it is in these moments that we really start to build that strength that is within ourselves. And that strength is going to build our character. So as you continue to work on yourself, as you continue to work on your beliefs, when someone tells you something about yourself, when someone has an opinion of something that you are doing, it's actually going to sound funny to you because it's going to sound like a lie. Whenever you work so hard on your beliefs and you start to adopt this new concept and you start to step into this new sense of self, you are going to be integrating that into who you are. So when someone tells you otherwise, you're not going to give it any of your attention. Things will become very factual. It's like if someone is telling you that you are a blonde and you are a brunette, you know that that is not true. So you're not going to take that personally. You're actually not going to give it any of your attention, and you're going to not even argue about those kinds of things. And you're going to realize that, okay, their opinions are their opinions. It really has nothing to do with me. I'm going to continue to do what I have to do and move forward in life, right? Because you're not going to sit there and argue about something that has absolutely no point in arguing. There's no point in arguing something that another person is committed to misunderstanding. So the more that you work on yourself, the more sure you become of yourself, the more confident that you are in yourself, the less likely you are to be triggered by the opinions of other people. So the focus should always be on yourself, in a sense of continuing to go within. Anytime that you are feeling bothered, anytime that you are feeling triggered by the opinions of other people, ask yourself why that is. If you need to remove yourself from certain situations, circles, environments, do that. Take care of yourself first. Put yourself as a priority. You really need to be focusing on your nervous system, regulating your nervous system, finding a sense of balance, a sense of stability, so you can navigate life in an easier way. You don't want to navigate life and consistently be triggered by everyone and just be overly fixated on the opinions of other people, what other people are saying, who's there for you and who's not. That should not stop you from doing the things that you want to do in your life, because no one is going to live your life for you. This is your life. You have a choice in how that is going to turn out. You have a choice in the life that you are trying to create. All of our actions will have consequences. It is a universal law of cause and effect. So the things that you are doing today in this moment are going to have an effect later on in life. So where do you want to be? You decide that. Thank you for taking the time to sit and watch and listen. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to focus on yourself. I love you, and I will see you in another video.